democracy is not an American value?
Okay. I mean, it's a very technical argument, but yes.
Okay, well, I say it is an American value because it's established in our Constitution, and it creates elections in Article 1, Section 2 of our Constitution for Congress, and we're a democracy. We have democratic values.
Again, this is a semantic argument, but an important one. And so where does the word democracy appear in the Constitution?
Its definition appears in the Constitution.
But the word does not.
Why does that matter?
Hold on. As I say, it's a semantic argument. So therefore, in the Federalist Papers, which I'm guessing you are familiar with, right? Madison, Hamilton, and Jay wrote it as an explainer of the Constitution. When was democracy mentioned, and how was it presented?
It's mentioned in our Constitution.
Okay, well, it's not though. The word is not. So what you're talking about is representative government, which of course we have. However, democracy is something completely different. Democracy, as was talked about in the Federalist Papers, was talked very negatively. Our own founders spoke negatively about democracy in our Federalist Papers. The authors of the Constitution went negative. You might say, but Charlie, we have elections. Of course we do. So what is the difference between democracy and a constitutional republic? There are big differences. In a democracy, the majority always wins with almost no breaks and no slowdowns of a check and balance system to protect freedoms and liberties. In a constitutional republic, the government starts with certain truth claims that are transcendent and irrefutable. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. The government is here to promote the general welfare, things of this nature. A democracy does not usually have the same kind of separation of powers. A true, actual democracy.
Yeah, we're not a pure democracy.
Right, but the word itself is not in any of our founding documents, and it was actually talked about negatively.
But the idea that we're not a democracy is ridiculous.
We're not,
we
though.
still vote.
But that's not the attribute. Like I said, that's representative government. It's a constitutional republic.
And
you're thinking way too simple about this. You got to go deeper.
And
I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just saying you got to broaden your horizon. Not every place that has elections is a democracy.
Right, but you also claimed that democracy is a majority rule.
Correct. Yeah.
Do the presidents and do our politicians not have to win a majority amount of votes?
No, they actually don't. They have to win a plurality of the electoral college.
Electoral college, but that's not a majority of.
No, actually, it's not. Think about it. You're actually not voting. You're voting for people to vote for you in the electoral college. You're actually voting for. No, that's different. That is a Republican. Hold on. A democracy is that you yourself would vote, and there's nothing in the middle. A small r Republican form of government is you vote for people to vote for you. That's what you do with the House, the Senate, and the Electoral College. You actually aren't voting yourself. You're voting for people to go vote for you. The Electoral College gathers to then go cast a vote on your behalf. That's actually not you voting.
But that describes a representation, like representatives.
Of course, we agree on representative.
Right, and
that's not a democracy.
And we elect these representatives through democracy.
No, okay. Again, this is semantics. I encourage you to do more research, man. I don't want to belabor this.
It's the Constitution. I don't understand.
Do you know what a republic is?
Yes.
Okay, well, tell me the difference between a republic and a democracy.
So in a republic, you have representatives. And I'm not saying that we aren't both a republic and a democracy. In a democracy, we elect our leaders. In a republic, we elect representatives. So we vote for the representatives.
Yeah, so we're a republic. In a democracy, for example,
vote.
Let me tell you what a democracy looks like. They'd say, hey, today we're going to have an up or down vote on universal health care. Go to the ballot box. That's what a democracy. You vote. Every person will vote on every single issue in a democracy. A lot of ballot referendums, a lot of things of that nature. Now, states can look in more that way. I don't want to belabor this too much. I encourage you to just do more reading.
But it's an American value. It clearly
go ask Grok. What did the founding fathers believe? Go to Grok and say, what did the founding fathers say about democracy in the Federalist Papers, and did the word democracy appear in the Constitution?
That doesn't matter if democracy is specifically
okay, so then let me ask you, what is democracy? Define it.
Democracy is a system or government that's ran by elected leaders.
That's not the definition of democracy. It isn't. Thank you very much.
It's literally right here. The online definition is a system of government by the whole population.
The whole population, exactly.
Right.
I am right. That's not what we have. We delegate our authority to elected leaders.
And they still have to have a majority. You still need a majority of Congress to vote on a bill?
No, they don't. We have pluralities. We have We also you need actually 61% of the vote. In a Republican style of government, things are slower, they are arduous, and you have natural rights that are enshrined that the majority of the people cannot overturn. Thank you very much. I'm not going to keep on going this way.
Mutually exclusive?
They are actually at odds with one another. Again, this is not a civics course. You got to go do more research, man.
This isn't about civics.
This
is just basic. This is basic.
Again, how about this? Go take 5 minutes, come back, and show me where the word democracy is in the Constitution. You can't find it because it doesn't exist. Thank you.
Wow, what an interesting debate. You can tell this is really very educative, trying to get the difference between Republican and democracy. The fattest, the kid is ignorance of the word democracy. It's also ignorance of the word Republican. Is trying to, misinterpret the words, but I believe he really has to do more research, just as Charlie have said, in order for him to get better understanding. I believe he doesn't really understand how democracy work. Same, he also doesn't understand how the word Republican, how it's work. So I believe he really needs to do more research on that, and he's speaking as if he's very sure of what he's saying. So I believe before you come to the mic and debate Charlie on any topic, you should do your research and you should be able to state your facts. Wow.